In our previous video, we were able to start and stop our stopwatch. So in today's video, let's do the coding for the resetting, and also we should be able to add the labs to our table view controller. So for the lab reset, so here is our method for the lab reset. So we have a method called add lab, a property called add lab. So we should be able to add the labs if the add lab is true, because the same button is being used to add the labs to the table view controller and also to reset, and else. So we will do the add lab later on. So first let's reset. So else, the first thing we need to do that, let's set add lab to false, and then we need to say that lab reset dot set image UI image named lab.png, and for state it is going to be normal, and we need to say that fractions is going to be 0, seconds is going to be 0, minutes is going to be 0, stopwatch string is going to be 0000.00, and stopwatch label dot text is going to be stopwatch string. So let's test it. So if I start and then stop, so it is giving me the reset functionality. Before I do that, let's test this again. So yeah, I'm able to start, and if I press the lab button now, so nothing would happen because we haven't coded it yet. And let's press the stop button and then reset, and as you can see that it has reset it to 00, and if I start it again, so it should start from the beginning. Let's add the labs functionality now. So first, before we start coding here the add lab functionality, so we will create an array variable to keep track of labs. So this is going to be of type string, and it will be an array, and we will initiate with an empty variable, and then once we click on if add lab is going to be true, so we will say that labs dot insert, and the new element is going to be stopwatch string, and it is going to be at index 0, and then we can say that labs table view dot reload data. So our array would be populated with this code, but then the labs table view reload data would always load the same data what we have told over here. So to counter this, so we need to change the code. So first of all, I'm going to say that this time return me labs.count, and here we can say that this text is going to be lab, and then let's test it with, I'll show you one thing over here. Then if we say that index path dot row, and then for the time which is stored in the labs array, so we will say that index path dot row. So let's see if it works. So if I start and if I click on the lab button, so yeah, it has added a lab and it is called lab 0. Actually it should be lab 1, and if I call it again, so it is adding the lab 1 over here where I want it to be here. So if I say, so this should be coming on the top, so there seems to be a problem. So what we can do over here, so if I simply call it labs.count minus index path dot row, so if the labs.count is 1, so if there is one row and the index path dot row would be 0, so that 1 minus 0 would start at 1, and the next time for the next cell it would count it 2, and the index path dot row would be deducted. So you can see that's how it works. So if I click on the start and say lab, so first of all it has added with the lab 1, and the next is lab 2, the next is lab 3, and now it is in the right order as well, and the next is lab 4. So if I stop and reset, so and if I start again, so we seem to have an issue. The issue is that once we reset, so it should clear the labs as well, so that's not happening. So let's see that where we have missed it. So we can simply say so over here, so we can call labs dot remove all. We can say yes, keep capacity to false, and once we have removed all the data from the labs, so we can say that labs table view dot reload data. So let's see if it works. So if I click on start and start adding the labs, so yeah, it's working fine. If I stop and before I reset, let's start again and let's start adding the labs. So yeah, it is keeping the labs fine. Let's stop and reset, and it has resetted and cleared all the data from the table view. So that was our stopwatch application. One thing I forgot to mention, that you can download the project files in the resources section. Thank you.